What is going on, guys? How you all doing today? Rangovidsmanga12 here, and we finally have the Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows issue 2. Now, I know some of you guys, well, actually a lot of you guys were asking, where is issue 2, Rango? Why haven't you uploaded the review for issue 2? And that's because it's kind of a long story, but I'll give you the short version. Basically, they changed the dates of the comic. So instead of the comic coming out every 2 weeks, this series is going to be releasing once a month. So it's been a month since the previous issue. And now, a month later, here's issue 2. A tip for in the future, guys, say like I'm reviewing like a specific series and I don't upload the next issue for like a month, that's most likely because the next issue hasn't released yet, so yeah. But anyway, guys, I don't know if you remember because the previous issue was so long ago, but I was actually doing a physical comic giveaway for that comic for Renew Your Vows issue 1, and I asked you guys, what are your thoughts on the ending of that comic, and you guys gave some awesome answers, and of course you gave some theories and stuff like that, which was awesome to see. But at the end of the day, I had to come down to one winner. I randomly chose a winner, so the winner is The Noir. So congratulations, you are the winner of the physical comic giveaway for Renew Your Vows issue 1. So if you want to contact me on my Facebook page by going to the link in the description, or you can contact me on YouTube by sending me a private message, or I'll contact you depending on what's going to go on. So yeah, congratulations. I hope you enjoy this comic when you get it. And of course, whenever I do these giveaways, you guys always ask me to sign the comic or something along those lines. So if that's what you want, then just let me know. For you guys that didn't win, don't worry, because I'll be doing plenty of other giveaways in the future. And of course, I'm actually doing a giveaway for Civil War, which my review will be uploaded for that after I've reviewed this. So check that out later today. But yeah, so don't worry, guys. There's always plenty of other giveaways in the future. But anyway, guys, I think we've spent enough time without getting into this comic. So I think it's time that we all jump into it. So let's go. Alright, so jumping into the comic, as you can see, Peter is pretty much reliving the moments when he was in the burning building in the previous issue with Venom. And he could see that Mary Jane and his daughter on the outside, and he actually went to save Venom, or that's kind of what his consciousness wanted him to think. But as you can see, Peter is still having nightmares all these years later about the night that he let Eddie Brock die, and of course the guilt is getting to him. And as you could see there, the guilt, or well, the Venom symbiote was kind of consuming Peter, and I think that's suggesting that the guilt is consuming Peter in real life as well, if you get me. So that was awesome to see. But Peter immediately knows that something's wrong with Annie, so he sprints into the room and he sees, well, I suppose we see that Annie does in fact have powers, and she can't fly. I'm not sure whether she can fly or anything like that. I think it was more about her climbing up the ceiling and then sticking to the ceiling instead. It did look like that she was flying, but no, I don't think she was. But you could also see that she had some kind of wristband on, and I think that's to prevent like Region or anyone like that from discovering that she has powers. I'll actually explain that further into the comic. But what you've got to remember is that in the previous issue, that guy called Region killed the Avengers, and he pretty much took over this city. And of course, we've got flying cars now and all this cool stuff. As you can see there, we've got flying police cars, and we also get like a little hint that Peter is Spider-Man again, you know, like where he just kind of ran off in the face of danger, but he's not actually running off to be Spider-Man. But that's kind of what the comic was suggesting. So I kind of like how it plays out that Peter is still running to crime scenes and stuff like that, but this time it's just from an alternate perspective. But as you can see, it seems that Annie is actually starting school, and Mary Jane is literally telling her not to use her powers whatsoever. Everyone else will think that she's a freak, think that she's a mutant or something like that, and she can't exactly reveal herself because of the world that they live in right now with Region there and stuff like that. However, we now go back over to Peter Parker, and he again is at a crime scene, but this time from an alternate perspective, from behind the camera. He's pretty much just a reporter now, taking pictures of crime scenes and supervillains and stuff. And we've got Shocker, Boomerang, Rhino, and of course we've got that guy in the middle called Demolition Man. Now, as you can see just there, we did just have 2 S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, which consist of the Prowler, and we don't exactly know the girl's name, but she did refer herself as Mockingbird. So she contacted S.H.I.E.L.D., and that was either a 616 Nick Fury, or it was either a Hawkeye. I'm not too sure, it could be someone entirely different, but they were there to maybe extract Demolition Man to save him. And the person that was talking from S.H.I.E.L.D. that I think might have been Nick Fury or Hawkeye pretty much said that he's stupid enough to show his superpowers in broad daylight, so pretty much Region can have him. Now, Region, I was calling him Region a minute earlier, but he's actually called Regent, so I apologize for that. But anyway, as you can see, we kind of get like this feeling that if anyone shows their superpowers in public, it sounds like that this Regent person actually captures them and does tests on them and stuff like that, takes the powers, and kills them off and stuff. So that's a pretty tragic world to be living in right now, especially for Spider-Man. That's probably one of the reasons why he hasn't come back as Spider-Man. Now, as you can see on screen, Peter discovers that Regent has discovered that his own daughter is at this school and that the fact that she's got powers. So Peter is literally racing across the city to get to his daughter, and so is Mary Jane. And Peter obviously doesn't have his costume with him anymore and stuff like that, so he's just thrown up his hood and he started running throughout the city, sprinting, climbing up walls and stuff, as the people in the city streets look by, and they literally start shouting Spider-Man's name. They say, "Whoa, who is that guy in the air? He's finally back. What the heck?" It proves that Spider-Man is still alive, because Spider-Man actually went into hiding, so yeah, he kind of just disappeared. People thought he was dead, and now he's revealed himself again. And of course, that's going to have some drastic effects in the future series of Renew Your Vows, especially because, well, people know that Spider-Man's alive, so they're not exactly going to stop looking for Spider-Man now that they know that he's out there somewhere. I also absolutely love just how determined Peter looks. Like, look at his face right there. Like, the artwork is perfect for this situation and this comic. But now we go over to Annie's school, and as you can see, there's like a little bit of a voiceover from Annie, and it turns out that even Annie's classmates have powers. So all of these people in her school alongside her, who also didn't reveal that they had powers, and they all start fighting Rhino and Shocker and Boomerang. We also got to see Annie debating whether to help these children or not, and that just shows that she carries the same characteristics as Peter Parker, with feeling the responsibility of having to save people. Now, Peter gets there just in time, but one thing that you've got to remember is that I think Annie knows that Peter, like her father, is Spider-Man, but there could also be the possibility that Annie just figured it out herself, and Peter and Mary Jane don't know that she knows that he's Spider-Man, so that's pretty weird. I don't exactly know how that's going to turn out. There could be a section of the comic where, well, in the future, where maybe Peter reveals that he was Spider-Man, and Annie just kind of turns around and says, "Yeah, Dad, I know." As you can see, that they're trying to get hold of Peter Parker, and he just does not give up whatsoever. Now, since discovering that Spider-Man is in fact still alive and is living in the city, Regent has actually set the task over to the Sinister Six. And of course, in this universe, we get like a pretty much more Vulture-looking Vulture. We've got Shocker, Kraven. Instead of it being Green Goblin, it's Hobgoblin. And of course, we've got Mysterio there. And what looks to be a rather old Dr. Octopus, so that's going to be interesting to see. Maybe I can just imagine Spider-Man just throwing out some awful, brilliant jokes at Dr. Octopus about how old he is or how bald he is, because I think Dr. Octopus was bald there, so I can probably see some jokes about that, because Dr. Octopus is known for having that bowl haircut, but for him not to have any hair at all, yeah, that seems like a pretty specific target for Spider-Man's sense of humour, and I hope to God that he actually brings that up in one of the fights. But as you can see there towards the end of the comic, Mary Jane got out Peter's black costume, and it turns out that that was the shadow that Annie was afraid of when she was sleeping at the beginning of the issue. It was actually Venom, because if you remember in the first Renew Your Vows issue, she was actually taken by Venom as a baby, so yeah, that seems to have scarred her for life a little bit. So it kind of seems that Venom is still looming over their family, even if it is just Annie. Now, what did you guys think of this issue? Let me know it in the comment section below. I kind of feel like that's what the front cover of this comic kind of resembles. You know, like Venom still, like, appearing over Spider-Man and his family, even though he's not entirely there. I think that's awesome that they just put that in the comic, well, especially in the front cover as well. But yeah, so I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. We got a lot of storytelling. We saw what exactly the universe came to, like, in terms of their city, and the fact that it's run by Regent and what exactly he's doing with these people and the superpowers. And I love the crowd's reaction to Spider-Man actually appearing to be alive when Peter was running through the streets. And also, we have some kids with superpowers, so I wonder how they're going to come into it in the future. That'll be awesome to see. But guys, what did you think of this issue? Let me know in the comment section below. Guys, please go to the link in the description to follow me on Twitter and Facebook to get all the comic book news updates. I've literally just posted on my Facebook page what comics I'm going to be reviewing in the all-new, all-different Marvel universe that kicks off after Secret Wars finishes, so go check that out. Also, follow me on Twitter to hear updates on my videos, whether they're late, whether they're being uploaded, whether they're being edited. Check that out in the link in the description. And of course, guys, hit the subscribe button and the like button on this video, and I'll see you all in my next video.